I did it. I won my first tournament, and I know I'm just coming out and saying it and not really putting any drama into this video, but I think it'd be a little bit more fun to watch how I kind of played in this video, knowing that I won. All right, so I'm gonna do this video a different type of style, and I'm gonna go ahead and basically break down what I did is its entire video. So it's gonna be a little bit longer of a video, and it's 24 holes instead of 18. And I'm just gonna break down, not shot by shot, but whenever I need to, I'm gonna pause, I'm gonna rewind and do all that type of thing. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. And I start on hole 17, which is actually a temporary hole, and it wasn't the easiest hole. From the tee box, there's no line whatsoever. I threw a couple shots before the round actually started, and I did pretty decent. I got like up into this territory right here, which isn't bad at all, obviously, because then it's just a simple pitch up. But I hit first available, I push off into the right, and I'm still throwing uphill, so when I throw this zone, it's gonna be a little bit more understable, as you guys kind of saw this flight of it. I throw it pretty flat, and I try to release it on actually a little bit more hyzer, but it just kind of pans over to the left, hits a tree, and I kind of have a look, but the thing with this look is I had no stance. I was like right by this stump, and I couldn't squat, I couldn't do anything. It would have prohibited my lie and everything like that. So I had nothing. So what do you know? I start with another bogey. Nothing new. Like I said, I'm starting my round with bogeys every single tournament, every single round. I just kind of have to accept that and move on. So we are +2. We're gone through the first hole, and this is our second hole, and it's just another stupid temporary hole. It isn't a good hole at all. I think everybody that was playing in this tournament can agree that all of the temporary holes are pretty stupid and pointless. This is hole 18, temporary hole number 2. The basket is kind of tucked away like right up in this area, and all you really need to do is throw a flex, but it's all death down here. And you just want to throw, a forehand hyzer, but you don't want to throw too much of it. So again, I'm stuck on this hill, not left with much. And I thought I was going to go for it, and I step out right here, and I just kind of lay it up on the left side, playing it smart, knowing that I still have an opportunity to win. So let's do that. Let's try and do that at least. So now we're moving on to the normal holes that you saw in the last video. This is hole 19, but hole 13 on the course. And make it make sense, it doesn't. So I throw this a little bit better than last time. Don't hit first available. I actually get a really good tree kick, and I'm down here with about a 25-30 footer, circle's edge putt here. And obviously, if I sail past the basket, sail over the basket, it's gonna be pretty bad, and I'm going to be left with probably another hard par putt, but I got a birdie putt. And let's see if I can dial this one in. It would be huge to get that bogey back that I just gave up, but I hit very top basket. So I get a nice little tap in, nothing too crazy there. I wanted to attack this hole a little bit different. I hit this tree right here, and it kicked off into the left this way. I just wanted to throw a simple hyzer and end up over here, but I kind of early released it, and I smack that tree right there. So I'm left with another interesting, very similar position, just a little bit further down the fairway. I was kind of like up here last round. So all I need to do is just throw a simple upshot, and it's easier said than done, but back-to-back times on this hole, throw perfect upshots, have nice tap-in pars, and we are good to go. So we're +2 through 4, and we are moving on to hole 15, hole 21 in the tournament. Kind of weird, it doesn't make sense. Anyway, 520 feet. If you guys remember last time, I lasered it down this hole, and I just piped it, and I threw it 460 feet, pitched up, easy birdie. This time, I throw it high, and I throw it high right into the sticks of the trees, and it just falls right down. So probably about a 200-something yard drive. I'm going with an MX1 on this one, and I didn't give it any ante whatsoever, so it's just gonna have that dead straight flight path and then pan out into the right. So I'm left with a putt, but it's a scary putt. So I do wanna give myself a chance. I know I need to get birdies if I wanna win this tournament, so I am gonna run this, and I do just that, and I hit top band. You can see my reaction. I was getting a little frustrated because I went bogey and then all pars. And stepping up to 21, I'm like, this is a must-get birdie. 2 of the 4 guys on my card birdied it, and 2 of them were the leaders. So I'm kind of getting frustrated. I'm probably about 3 or 4 strokes back. I started 4 strokes back, so I'm now probably 5 strokes back of the leader. And I could tell that it's kind of slipping away from me now. So hole 22, very simple shot. Just got to aim at this pole right here and have it fade in. I early release it. So already not looking good, go into the ditch. It's not hazard, it's not OB, nothing like that. So I just pitch up, and I actually leave myself with a little bit of a tester for par. This is probably about 15 feet, but like I said, these 15 footers where I've just been practicing from that range, I'm building that confidence to where if I have a 15 footer and I need to make it, I feel confident doing it. And that's exactly what happened so much throughout this tournament. So I highly recommend doing that. If you didn't see that video, it is going to be up here, recommended as a card, and just click on that video. It is the Eagle McMahon video. It is incredible, and it really changed my philosophy on how I putt. Now, moving on to this next hole here, hole 23, I try to throw that MX1 flex like I did in round 1, threw it too high, not enough flex, and what do you know? I'm back into the same ditch, same little ravine that I was in on the last hole, and I'm trying to pitch up again, and I do just that. I was a little lazy, didn't throw it high enough, didn't get enough spin, but again, left with another 15 footer. Can I dial it in? I do. Heart of the basket. So still +2. You guys are like, how in the frick did this guy win this tournament? It's about to get good, I promise. Hole number 24, I throw it dead into the ground, get a nice generous skip here, and I do have a look at my birdie, and this entire front part of the course, the front 9, if you will, I was exhausted. I don't know if it was lunch or what it was, but I was just exhausted, fatiguing, everything, and I just really didn't want to play disc golf. So I knew if I didn't get a birdie within hole 24, 1, 2, or 3, I didn't stand a chance. So this is when I really needed to dial it in. So here I am, straddling out, because this tree, the camera doesn't show it, this tree is dead in front of me. So I have to straddle out over and to the right, and I need to give this a little bit of hyzer, as you'll see on my putt, and I hit basket again. Hitting band, hitting basket, very frustrating, but I'm giving good bids at it regardless. Hole 1, this is where my tournament changes, I promise you. So here is what happens. 265 feet. I'm like, I got to do something here. I throw Anheuser Flex Raptor. It's 265 feet, but really it's someone actually rangefindered it. He scouted it, and it was 305 feet. So I knew a Raptor was the right disc. I just had to throw it correctly, and I did just that. I threw a little Anheuser, and you're going to see that it just skipped perfectly. We're going to kind of rewind and watch that flight again. You're going to see that it's on a little bit of Anheuser, and it flexed out at the perfect time, and it hit the pine straw and or grass to really get a nice skip and roll down towards the basket. And I'm left with about a 10-footer, 6 or 7 feet, really short putt, and I just wanted to make sure that I went through my routine. I needed that birdie more than anything. I was the only one that got, or no, me and the leader got birdie on that hole, so I was kind of like, okay, whatever. I'm still a little bit strokes back, but a birdie's a birdie, so, I'm kind of positioning myself here. Hole 2, you guys know it's that backhand hyzer around all these trees, and I throw a perfect backhand hyzer, absolutely money with the Raptor, and I'm left with about another 10-footer. So building that confidence, trying to get on this birdie train, I do just that. So that's 2 birdies in a row. I'm at even par, stepping up to the gimme hole at Rolling Pines. I need this hole more than any hole. I dumped it out like to over here in the first round, and I was left with about a 30-40 footer, and it was just frustrating because it's only 210 feet. You need it. Everybody's going to get it. So what do? I throw a perfect shot. I thought off the tee pad that this was going to go in just because of angles and all that stuff. And right here in this video clip, you're going to hear me say, we're turning it on, and I do just that. So this is hole 3 putt. This is for my 3rd birdie in a row. I do just that. I'm 1 under, just like that. So at this point, my confidence is building. I can tell the other people on my card are like, okay, where'd this guy kind of come from? He's kind of turning it on now. So it's kind of becoming a little bit more of a fun tournament, if you will. So the leader, if I remember correct, is at 3 under. He bogeyed one of the holes. Now, the one right ahead of me is 2 under. So you have 3 under, you have 2 under, and I'm at 1 under. And I just know I need this birdie more than anyone because I feel like everyone's going to par or bogey this one. This is a 335 dead uphill par 3. So I know a lot of people can't get there. I know my forehand could get there. I threw a reverb on a very flat line because if you remember in the first round, I ended up hazard right over here. and it just wasn't good. So I had to take a stroke and I got bogey. So I really didn't want to do that again. So what do? I throw it perfectly dead flat and it pans out to me and I have an opportunity at my birdie. This is what I'm left with. I'm going to hide the scoreboard up there in the top left because this is a big putt. This is to keep the birdie train rolling, but this is also to honestly instill a little bit of fear into my opponents. This is about a 50 to 60 footer and I get a jump putt in the basket. That was my best putt of the day. I had some really good putts, but obviously none better than that one. This is a huge putt. So just going through my routine and really just generating all the power down low, delivering it into the heart of the hole. Hole number 5 on a birdie train of 4 now. We're at 2 under, 320 feet. Going Raptor again. I early released this. I was trying to release it over here, but I early release it into these trees. It just gets a kick off of that branch, and I'm left with a little tunnel for my birdie putt. Alex is off to the side, so you can't really see the tunnel that I have, but this is probably another 35, 40 footer. I mean, this is outside of circle, but I feel like I get enough pop and spin on my new putt that I just created before this tournament, which is funny, but I feel like I get enough pop to where I don't need to step. I don't need to jump from 35, 40 feet. So I don't do that. Here's for another birdie. Drained it. That was hole 5. I'm at 3 under. Birdie train is at 5 now. And if you remember, I pierced this next hole on the first round, going with my Lozado again. And what do you know? I kind of grip lock a forehand. I get a kick left and it starts rolling. And down there and to the left is actually hazard and OB. So I had to be careful and make sure I didn't go hazard or OB. Tree saved me 165 feet on this hole and probably about 80 or 90 feet to go. Just going to throw a nice little zone into the ground so it checks up and I have a nice little tap in on hole number 6. Well, there you go. Hole number 6. So I'm 3 down through however many. I started on 17. We're going to finish on 16. We're on 7. So we have 10 more holes to play, right? I'm 3 down. The leader is 4 down, and I'm tied with this other guy at 3 down. So we're kind of having ourselves a little match play situation when at the very beginning of this video, at the very beginning of this tournament, I'm like +2, leaders are -4 and -5, and I'm like, there's no shot that I even win this tournament or even come close. When I checked the leaderboards, I was like, I'm tied for 7th place. Well, what am I doing here? And then I just turned it on. And you're going to see here on this tee shot, hole number 7, I throw a Raptor again. Don't get lucky like I do the first round, but I take that same gap, and it goes off and more into the right. So I have another putt, very similar to my first round. First round, I was over to the left just a little bit more, but you're going to see that I try and run it, but I airball it. Honestly, if I could have one putt back all day, it would be that one. There was some in the first round that I would maybe want back, but that one is one that I would want back. Hole number 8, I grip lock it again, and I got very lucky. This could have been way left, but I'm right here, have a nice little window. Nice little upshot again with my zone. Probably could have flicked a pier or something a little bit more stable like a Buzz or a Lozado or Hex or whatever on nothing too crazy power-wise, but just something to where I didn't fade out as much as it did because now I'm left with another 15-footer. But again, I'm feeling confident from 15 feet, so I'm going to step up to this putt with confidence. And that's what happened. I'm going to play this in slow motion. It did everything in its power to try and get out of this basket. I kid you not. As you see, it goes band, it goes basket, it bounces a couple times on top of the basket, and it just sits in the heart of the hole. So I'm like, I should be 2 down, but I'm 3 down. That is a game changer because everyone else on that lead card, 4 under and 3 under, they all parred that hole, and if I got bogey, that was not going to be good, ideal. So big par save there, very lucky, very fortunate to DGA Baskets. Thank you very much. Hole number 9, 290 feet. If you remember first round, I went up and over, and I was in the twigs and woods behind the basket, and I got bogey. So I played this one safe, hit the hill, and I have a very, very lazy upshot. Yes, I'm left with another 6-7 footer, but it was lazy enough to where I step up to my putt and I'm like, this is what I have for my par? Like, why did I do this to myself? Anyway, I make it still 3 under. This next hole, I just smack the middle of this tree. So this is 235 feet. I need to throw it over here, and let's see if we can do just that and get another birdie. I don't. I early release it. I put enough ante on it to where it gets around the tree, and all past this is hazard. So I'm not hazard, I'm just in the road just a little bit. And this is about 35, 40 feet. And this is one where I was first, everyone was inside of me, And I just had to figure out if I had to run this or if I just laid it up, took the par, played it safe. I take it back. This is the best putt of the day. This is a huge putt. I think this really actually told the leaders that, because the leaders were tied at this point. All three of us were tied on hole 10 because he bogeyed hole 9. So we're all tied on hole 10 at 3 under. And me mentally, I'm just like, if I want to win this tournament, I got to make big putts. So this is what happened on hole 10. Going through my routine, 35, 40 feet. And all I know is I need to try and drain this. Put a lot of pop on it, and I just cash it. You can see my reaction there. I was just incredibly relieved to have it, but also absolutely pumped to have that. So I'm 4 down now, and crazy enough, the other guy was on the other side of the hill, basically had the same putt as me. He made it. So now me and this other guy, his name is Sam, he and I are 4 down, and Nick, who was originally the leader, and he had a 3-stroke lead over everybody, he's at 3 down still. So he's not having a hot round. He's just kind of maintaining everything, which is honestly a way to lose. You can't play to not lose. You have to play to win, right? Like, you can't just play passive disc golf and expect everyone else to lose and bogey. So I feel like he kind of lost this more than we won it. That's a lie. I won this tournament. So here we are on hole 11, I want to say. Yeah, hole 11. I'm 4 under. Me and this other guy are tied, and I go first. I have tee box, and you're going to see what I do here. I throw this thing on a perfect line, a little bit of ante from the tee box. I thought this was going in, and it checks up right down by the basket. You can tell I'm going through my breathing because what happened was the original guy that I'm tied with, he threw it into the ground. He had a horrible upshot, but he made his par putt for about 45, 50 feet. I mean, it was an incredible putt. I gave him his props. It was just, there's nothing that you can do about it. It was just an awesome putt. So here I am. I know that this is a putt that I need to make if I want a 1-stroke lead going into our final holes. So going through my routine, this is about a 20, 25 footer, and I need to nail this. Uphill, don't want to short arm it. Bam, right into the heart of the basket. So I'm 5 under, have the 1-stroke lead over Sam. And I'm just feeling good at this point. So I still have the tee box, which is awesome because you can really put the pressure on other people. And this is what I do with my tee shot. I knew hazard left was what I went to last round, so I didn't want to do that. I wanted to throw enough ante on this tee shot to where it didn't fade off into the right hazard, but that's exactly what this disc did. So I went hazard right, and they let me drop from like right about there, which is a good spot. Honestly, it was a little bit further back than I thought it went out, but I jump putt. Again, I feel like I get a lot of pop on my putt to where I can get it there, and I'm left with another 10, 15 footer just to save my par. And in the heat of the moment, you're like, okay, 10, 15 feet, easy tap-ins, but you're up 1, and there's about 4 or 5 to play. You're like, this putt means a lot. So I step up, I hit it. Everyone on the card got par. So nobody got a stroke on me on that hole. Hole 13, smack a tree. I'm in the road. But honestly, that was kind of best case scenario because you're going to see this red disc right here. This is Sam's disc. And he did basically the same thing I did. Monkey see, monkey do. So I go ahead and I need to lay this one up. And I do exactly what I did right here as I did on the very last hole of my last round. I throw it super high and super left, and now I am left with another tester for my par. Now, stepping up to this putt, Samuel was behind me, and he was right about here, and he missed his par putt. He had a really bad upshot, and he missed his putt. So he's actually sitting right here for his bogey. So I know if I make this, I'm going to have a 2-stroke lead because now I would be at 5 under. He would be at 3 under. I cash it. So really big putt there. Now we're throwing down a mountain, and it's all OB right. And I did not want to go into that river. So I throw it into the ground, and this is what I have for a birdie. So before you see this putt, I know I'm pausing it a lot, but before you see this putt, I got to set it up how I was thinking about it in my mind. I'm 5 under. Sam and Nick are 3 under. So I have a 2-stroke lead. I have 2 more holes after this. They're both going to get par. I know this. They're both going to get par on this hole. This is Sam's disc is back here. This is Nick's disc. So I'm like, if I make this, I have a 3-stroke lead going into our final 2 holes. So I really wanted to make this, and this is what happened. Absolutely bluff it, but you can see the red line right there. my putter ended up on the other side of that line. So very fortunate to not go hazard and be taking a drop for basically a bogey. So this is my par putt, and this is a 20-foot test bogey, or 20-foot tester for par to maintain that 2-stroke lead, and I make it. I mean, just stones, absolute stones. So knowing that, kind of sweating here, feeling a lot of pressure, but not too much pressure. Nick and Sam are at 3 under, I'm at 5 under, and here is what I do with my next drive. Absolute missile at this basket. I didn't roll my wrist. I told myself, can't roll my wrist, can't do anything, and that is where I end up. And I had a birdie look, and I could be like what I did last hole, and I could have just said, I want to put this tournament away. I want to make this birdie and just try and make it. But I knew I had a 2-stroke lead. I was kind of seeing what they were doing, and they were both going to get pars, but they actually both got bogeys on this hole. And I was at 5 under. I knew they were at 2 under, so I took the smart thing. I laid up to over there, and I was left with about a 6-7 footer for my par, and I make it. So I'm left with a 3-stroke lead going into the final hole. 3 strokes just doesn't feel like enough in any tournament. So here I am on the final hole of the day, and I kind of throw this one into the ground. I wanted to, put it somewhere over here and have an uphill putt as an upshot and just tap in from there. So I'm left with about a 50, 60 footer, and all I needed to do was lay it up. So that's exactly what I do. The disc sat on me, which I'm so thankful that it did, because it could have ended so much worse. You're going to see Sam here tap in for his par, and he was going to get 2 under, and he finished at 2 under in second place with Nick as well. So this is my par putt. I have 3 strokes to play with because they're both at 2. I'm at 5. This is my par putt, waiting for him to get it, and I cash it. So I finished the tournament at 5 under. I win the Almost Springs Rolling Pines tournament, 5 under. Nick and Sam finished at 2 under. Here at the very end of this video, you're going to see the award ceremony, and you're going to see me, accept my prize and all that. But yes, I won my first tournament. Very, very happy. Thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you guys for coming along on the journey, for those of you who have kind of been along this journey so far. But for now, I'm just going to soak in this win and enjoy it. So thanks for watching. Here's the award ceremony.
First place. Targeting 60. Zach. Yes, Zach.